Hi lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit. So for today's video, I'm going to do another if I could only keep 10, and this one is going to be my face and cheek products. So I did one of these towards the very end of December. If you're curious about that one, it was my eyeshadow palette, so go check that one out if you're interested. But this, I have some highlighters, bronzers, blushes, face palettes. Let's just get into it. So I'm just going to pick them up, explain to you guys of why they are in this group that I chose, and yeah, no order. So the first thing I'm reaching for, okay, so this blush happens to be something that I just absolutely adore. I don't really care what kind of shade it comes in, but this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush. I love these, and I would always want to have at least one of them in my collection. I do have two at the moment, this one and Quirky, and I do have a full size in the shade Celebrated. That's actually the one I wanted to show you guys, but it's probably lost at the bottom of my drawer right now. The Celebrated shade has use on it, this one does not. But regardless, I've gone through two of these minis. They are just beautiful. I love how they wear on my skin. Like I said, the shade really doesn't matter to me, but as long as I have one of these, I just really like reaching for it, and I always tend to gravitate towards it when I do feel like using it. So that's always a good sign. So I would always want to have at least one of these around in my collection at some point. Or at all points, I guess. Another blush that I absolutely love. I was so happy when I purchased this. I've wanted it from the beginning. This is my Too Faced Papa Don't Peach blush. And this thing, I absolutely love it. I wear it all of the time. Of course, I'm not wearing it today, but with the amount of usage that's on here, you can tell that I wear it a lot. So yes, there's still embossment in here, but my brush just happens to hit this area. And if you see these very faint rings, so excited. I have no idea how close I am to hitting pan on this, but I feel like it's coming soon. If you've used this before and you've hit pan, let me know how close I am, because I'm so excited. It's going to be very bittersweet hitting pan on this and even completely using it up. Once I started using this and I realized how much I loved it, a part of me was like, I should have bought a backup. I know it was smart of me not to, so I'm okay. I will be okay once this is completely gone. But I do kind of want to just hang on to it for as long as possible. She still smells like peaches. She's beautiful. Definitely a good choice. So another product that I would absolutely love to keep in my collection for as long as I possibly could, if possible, is a highlighter from Becca. So that's why I say if possible, because as you know, Becca's no longer around. Yes, Smashbox has picked up some of their products, and they do have the Champagne Pop highlighter, but I don't know if I really want that one much anymore. I'll get into that in just a little bit, but this one is in Vanilla Quartz, and I have two of these, and I have another Moonstone. I completely finished off a mini Moonstone last year. Absolutely love how these look on the skin. So smooth, so nice. They're just absolutely gorgeous, and it's a highlighter that I love reaching for. So if I could always have one in my collection, I absolutely would. Kind of the reason why I bought a few minis when I found they were going on sale. I did try purchasing Champagne Pop off Becca's website. Long story short, it got lost in transit, and Becca was super good about everything. But just with that whole incident, it's kind of thrown me off from wanting to even try Champagne Pop, just because it didn't work for me in the first place. So if I actually purchase that shade somewhere down the line, we shall see. But as for now, the ones that I have, I'm happy with, and I would love to keep them around. So I'm going to show you guys this blush next, just because it is slightly broken, but this is my Cover FX, the Monochromatic Duo Blush. And I do have two of these, but I chose this one for a specific reason. I do have Pink Dahlia, but this one is in Soft Peach. And the reason why I chose this one is because this was the one that I had originally wanted from the very beginning. I purchased Pink Dahlia because I believe Beautylish had them on sale a while back, and they were out of this one. So I picked up Pink Dahlia, but this was the one that I had been wanting more than anything, and it came to Marshall's, so of course I picked it up. But part of me is a little upset because of how broken it is. Just this matte shade, so I'm really gonna have to figure something out and what I'm gonna do with that. But I would like to keep this around just because it's been the one that I'd been wanting the most. It's the one that I'd been wanting the longest, and I finally got it. And it's just something, there's just that certain feeling about finally getting what you wanted for so long and just not wanting to let it go. So there's a couple of those products in here, but that is definitely one of them. So I chose another highlighter, and this one I brought into my collection towards the end of the year. I want to say it was maybe November. I bought it from Beauty Bay a little while ago, and it took some time to come in. But this is by Nabla. And the reason, even though like I haven't used this yet, but the reason why I pulled it into here is because the formula is a little bit different from anything else that I have. This is a gelée formula. I honestly have no idea what that is, what it means, but this is it. And because I'm a pressed powder kind of girl, I know that I can use this that way. So I like that about it as well. But because the formula is just slightly different, I think it's a really cool addition to my collection. Just to have something slightly different, even though I can use it in the way that I like to use things. So she would be sticking around. I'm gonna show you the one and only bronzer that I have in this collection. So this is my Marc Jacobs bronzer, and if you happen to check out my makeup collection video where I was showing you guys my bronzers, you'll know that I have quite a few of these. So the reason why I kind of explained in that video, but it was because I wanted this to become like my main bronzer, not my only bronzer, but my main bronzer. And for that reason, I bought a few of them knowing that this was going to last me a very long time. So these full sizes are massive. I think they're like 25 grams each. I have 3 in this shade. I have 1 in a shade that might be better for me in the summertime. But I also purchased them because I'm working on a little mini size right now, which I'm almost finished, and I absolutely love it. It's this shade. This is in 104 Tantastic, so I love how it looks on me, especially this time of year in the winter, because here it's winter most of the time. So I know that I'm really going to get a lot of good use on this, and wanting it to be one of my main bronzers, I know it's going to last me a very long time, and I am more than okay with that. So that's the only bronzer that I actually have to show you guys. I do have a few other products. So I do have 2 more highlighters, and I'm going to show you this one first, which is newer to my collection as well. It's the Natasha Denona Super Glow, and I have not used this one yet, but I decided to roll it into here because it was something that I had been pining after for quite a while, and I finally purchased it back in November. I'm happy that I did. I've been working on a few highlighters, so I haven't felt the need to use this one yet, but I'm at a point where I just want to start using all of my makeup. I kind of go through this, like it's brand new, it's too pretty to touch kind of thing, especially when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, but I'm at a point right now where it's been a good few months where I've brought anything from me bringing anything into my collection, and I'm just ready to use it. So I would like to keep this around just because of how long I had been wanting it for, but I would be looking forward to actually using it and finding out if it's a formula that I actually do really enjoy. And then if I do, of course, I would want to keep it around even longer. So the last single highlighter I have is by Milk Makeup. This was another one that I had been wanting, and I purchased this one. This is the Flex highlighter in the shade Lit, and I was so happy when I finally bought it. I think it was in the spring, Sephora's VIB sale last year, and after I purchased it, it seemed to kind of disappear. I think it came back for a short time, but I have no idea where this is sitting at right now. So I'm gonna show you guys, but it is a little bit messy. So I would reach for this constantly when I purchased this. I love it. There's fallout all over the place. You can even see that the embossment has like worn away a good part of the pan there. I love this. I had been wanting it for a long time. I was super happy that I purchased it. I've taken a break from using it, but I can't wait to get back into it. But I love this thing. I'd want her to stay around. So I'm going to show you, I have 2 palettes. The first one I'm going to show you is a highlighting palette, and this one's by Untitled. And this is just so cool and unlike anything else I have in my collection. So the shades, not necessarily, but so you can't really compare the 2 palettes that I'm going to compare right now, but this one and the Balm, the Luminizer Squad highlighting palette has essentially similar shades only because it's got a pink, a purple, a white, whatever the Mirror Luminizer color is, and like a champagne color. So you have like your white, your yellowish, purple, and white. That's about as far as, or as close as they get. Other than that, this is so cool because it has shifts in it. Like this shade here, if you can see that, like peachy kind of shift. And then this one has like a pink, or not a pink, a purple and blue kind of shift. And they're so cool. They look so nice when I've swatched them out. And I have nothing else like this. And I would love to keep this for that reason. It's just, again, another fun, cool addition to my collection. And maybe eventually I'll purchase more like this, but for now, my one and only, I would love to just keep it around. And last but not least, I have an actual full face palette, which I think this might be the only one in my collection, just going off the top of my head here. But this one is by Too Faced, and it's the Natural Face Palette. So for me, I like this one because it has variety. You do have a couple different shades of each, blush, highlighter, and bronzer. Whereas I know some face palettes have only like one shade of each. So I do prefer something like this, even though I know that I'm not going to be able to use every single shade. I know that I can mix and I can probably get something a little bit different to work for me. But I just think that face palettes in general are just so much more compact, and they're easier to bring with you wherever you go, whether you're traveling, whether you're spending the night someplace. It's easy, it's compact, and you're not reaching for a bunch of singles. That is still technically what I end up doing, is reaching for a bunch of singles over face palettes, but I always have at least one of these in my collection, and I plan to continue to only have at least one full face palette in my collection, just for convenience. It's always something that will be around. Whether it's this one or whether it's another brand or whatever, as long as I have one of these full face palettes, I'm good to go. So that is all 10 products. Let me know if you have any of those. Let me know what your top 10 products are, if you could only keep 10 in your collection. And yeah, I think that's about it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Bye.